WHCS Channel 29 presents Peninsula District Boys Basketball. The Hampton Crabbers and the Denbigh Patriots. From Hampton High School, this is Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and A.G. Womble. Welcome to our game, and we're going to go right over to A.G. Womble. He's got both of the coaches. A.G.?
All right, Tim, Bob, we do have Coach Dennis Katufas and Walter Brower. Walter, you're 1-1 against Denbigh. What do you expect from the Patriots tonight?
Another tough ball game. Tough defense, well-disciplined team. They're going to play hard.
How's your team's health?
We're fine right now. Monday's a little sore from a fall yet at Warwick, but, you know, we're healthy.
All right, Dennis, what about the Crabbers? What do you expect from them tonight?
Oh, great offensive team. We just hope they don't get hot on us. They get hot on us, I don't think we'll have a ball game. But we'll try to play hard and keep it tight as we can.
What's your game plan?
Keep it tight. Keep it tight.
Good luck to both of you guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
All right.
That's a good idea, Tim. You ask what the game plan is with the other coach standing there. Nice try, A.G. But we do have 3 officials for tonight's game. I thought you might ask your coaches about that, but it's okay. Let me explain to you what happened. The Hampton High School School Board and the Newport News High School School Boards got together today and decided to come up with 3 officials because of the importance of this game and the physical contact that happens. They don't want emotions to get out of hand. I talked to Bob Cockrell, who is the referee, and we have 2 umpires, umpire 1 and umpire 2. But Bob Cockrell is the main man in this game, and he said, and I asked him, I said, that mean you're going to play it tight? He says, no, we're trying to keep the whistle out of our mouth as much as we can. Talk to the guys, keep their tempers down, and just have a good basketball game. So having 3 officials, we hope, doesn't mean we'll have a lot of whistles, Tim.
Well, let's set the opponents for you, if we may. Hampton is first in the district, 11-2 in the district, 16-2 overall. One of those 2 losses was to this Denbigh team. Denbigh beat them in overtime 3 weeks ago, 61-57. And Hampton is ranked number 8 in the state coming into this game, and they've averaged, are you ready for this, 87 points a game during the last 6 games. And during that 6-game streak, they are undefeated.
So, Tim, they have been putting the ball in the basket.
And they are coached by Walter Brower, who you heard moments ago with AG and Coach Katufas of Denbigh. Now, Denbigh is 10-3 in the district. They are 13-4 overall. They're a full game behind Hampton. They're in 3rd place just behind Ferguson. If Denbigh can win this game tonight, they will earn a tie for 1st place with Hampton. Hampton, as I mentioned before, beat Denbigh 65-44 in the Christmas tournament at Fort Eustis, and then Denbigh turned the tables on them, beating them in overtime. So they have split the meetings, and in the last 4 games, Denbigh is 2-2. So they have not played as well as they might have. We saw Kickingham upset Denbigh when we were up there 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Denbigh is not playing. I think what's happened is the kind of mystique has gone away. The other teams in the district figure they can now beat Denbigh. Denbigh is not undefeatable. But what we're going to have here tonight, Tim, is if we're having the starting lineups introduced. I thought we'd have the national anthem, but we'll have it after that.
Ryan Edlow, Thayer Murphy, the first 2 players introduced for the Patriots.
Number 24, Dana Michael,
the other starter for Denbigh.
Number 50,
Ruben Wilson. And the 5th starter will be Brian Weaver. He's the leading scorer on the Denbigh team, averaging 14 points plus.
The Patriots are coached by Mr. Dennis Katufas, assisted by Mr. Reggie Garrett and Mr. Maxie Anderson.
You got it, coaches, Dennis Katufas, Reggie Garrett, and Maxie Anderson. Tim, now we're going to have the Hampton Crabbers going to be introduced.
A full house on
We will hear a big yell for this
now
game.
Now here are your starters for the homestanding Crabbers of Hampton High. Number 54, Aaron Mundy.
Aaron Mundy, number 54, big guy, just a junior, 6'6", 213. Eric Hunter, another big force inside, 6'5", 195.
Number 22, Cedric Williams.
Cedric Williams, number 22, 6 foot 165.
Number 24, Gannon Baker.
Gannon Baker has been playing real good of late. Arnie Baker's son, 24-6-1. And Kevin Swan, who is the heart and soul of this team, he's the team leader out there, number 20.
Coached by Mr. Walter Brower, assisted by Mr. David Blizzard and Arthur Jones.
Arthur Jones, David Blizzard are the assistant coaches to
Your
Walter
officials for tonight's
Brower.
contest, Mr. Cockrell, Mr. Stevenson, and Mr. Downey.
So we have the three officials, Tim. Bob Cockrell, the referee, Jim Downey, the umpire number 2, and Tom Stevenson, umpire number 1.
ROTC color guard, under the command of Cadet Rhonda Franklin. We've asked that you stand.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the presenting of the colors and our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Tim, this is almost reminiscent of the old Hampton Newport News contest when this place would be so packed that you really felt like a sardine, and if you stood up, you lost your seat.
I remember back in those days, I came to the Hampton High School gymnasium about 4:45, I think it was, the afternoon of the game. The game didn't start till 8. That was before the girls
That's
used to
right,
play.
it was just a JV and a varsity.
Just a JV and a varsity, and we came out here and we stood in line and shoved and pushed and beat people trying to get in. And got in here, it was about 112 degrees in the gymnasium. There were people all around on the outside, literally looking in the window. They opened the window because it was so hot, and there were people that were on top of the roof trying to get in. So those were the days of the Warren Chapman and Michael Yearwood and all those boys. Back in 02, as they say. Well, back to reality here. We're about set to go. We welcome you to the game of the week. The Hampton Crabbers in first place, the Denbigh Patriots in third place. And it's going to be a good one, I'm sure. Getting ready to jump for Denbigh will be Reuben Wilson, and he will jump against Eric Hunter, who, of course, many of us Hampton fans will remember is the quarterback for the Hampton Crabbers football team. Gannon Baker with it in the back court. This is Kevin Swan, number 20, guarded by Dana Michael. Cedric Williams looking inside for Hunter. Swan will fire a three-pointer.
And what Denbigh did, Tim, is send a man back down court. They're only playing like a four-man zone. Had a man back underneath the basket. But Kevin Swan comes out hitting, and you can't let him shoot. He is a streak shooter. Hampton's in a, looks like a 2-1-2 zone.
Hampton has scored 109 points in each of the last 2 ball games. You talk about a scoring machine. Battle for the ball. Good heads-up play. What incredible eyesight on the part to get that ball to Murphy Thayer.
It really was, Tim.
Thayer Murphy, excuse me. It wasn't even a matter of the fact that he threw it blindly. He knew where he threw it. 3-2.
A little bit of contact on Aaron Mundy that time. And now we see Hampton in a 1-2-2 press, full court.
Ball knocked away. Gannon Baker will go to the hoop. Yes.
Nice pass from Blackman. Nice assist.
5-2 Hampton by 3. Ball knocked away again. Kevin Swan looking for Baker. Feeds it off. Good block. Good defensive effort.
It really was. But that's 2 turnovers real quick by the Hampton Crabbers in that pressing defense.
Reuben Wilson
very quick hands.
Wilson and Edlow got back and blocked that shot cleanly. Inside, Hunter can't get it. Gets his own rebound, doesn't go. Hunter again puts it up and in. So Eric Hunter with 3 rebounds before he finally put it in.
Well, that first one slipped out of his hand.
It's 7-2, Hampton by 5. Hampton pressing all over the court. It's Dana Michael. Edlow will fire from 3. He hit it. Brian Edlow hits a 3-pointer, and it's 7-5 Hampton. Williams pass for Baker. Baker.
And that was a dangerous pass.
Some trouble there. They get it back. Swan from way outside 3-point range doesn't hit it. And it's controlled by Brian Weaver. A shot is no good, but a foul on Baker. That's his first.
I don't understand his strategy, except what Denbigh is hoping to do, Tim, is not only get the rebound after Hampton shoots, but get the ball down court because they're playing only 4-man zone and they're dropping a man all the way back underneath their own basket offensively.
At the free throw line, Reuben Wilson looking for his first point of the night. It's going to be short. He'll get a second try. 7-5 Hampton.
What might be going on tonight is Denbigh realizes that Hampton beat him when they got the ball inside, and they may be offering that outside shot against their zone. Hopefully the Crabbers won't try to get the ball inside.
7-6 Hampton by a point. Denbigh pressing. Baker is open. Left-handed is no good. Battle for underneath, and bodies are all over the place. A jump ball. The possession arrow points to the Denbigh team. 7-6, 5:32 left. First quarter, 8-minute quarters in high school basketball. This game being played Tuesday night, February the 7th, 1989. The first place Crabbers, the third place Patriots of Denbigh. In the corner, Weaver thinks about it, now kicks it out for Dana Michael. This is Brian Edlow, hit a 3-pointer moments ago.
And Hampton is in a 3-2 zone, but they got the ball right inside.
They got it where they wanted, but Brian Weaver couldn't get it to go down. And Kevin Swan.
They really dodged the bullet that time, because that's exactly what you want to do if you're Denbigh. That's a great shot.
They got it where they wanted it, it just didn't go. Tipped away, Michael, and put in by number 14, Thayer Murphy. That's his second bucket, and Denbigh leads by a point. Hunter feels the pressure of Weaver, dishes off for Swan. Swan's pass is out of bounds, last touched by the Crabbers. Both of these teams are extremely quick. Dana Michael just across the center court line. Gives to Edlow. Edlow guarded by Gannon Baker, and a traveling call against Edlow.
This has got to be a new experience for these officials, too, for the first time that they have worked 3 on a game. Their positioning is a little different than normal, I'm sure.
4:22 left in the first quarter. 8-7. Eric Hunter goes to the hoop, gets his own rebound, no. And finally controlled by Weaver. Out come the Patriots. Dana Michael should be called for traveling. He will be. The basket does not count. Michael couldn't control the ball on the pass. It was a good pass, but he had trouble with it, and he traveled.
Denbigh's press seems to be putting a little pressure on the Crabbers.
Monday's shot doesn't go. Weaver clears the board. Inside, Dana Michael spins and turns, can't get it to go. Cedric Williams back for the Crabbers. He'll fire for three. No good. Back come the Patriots. This pass underneath, and we've got a whistle in backcourt.
I think we had a foul on Monday, 54.
Aaron Monday called for his first personal foul behind the play. It's a player control foul, and it'll be given to the Patriots at three-quarters court. Dana Michael and Brian Edlow will bring it up. 8-7, Denbigh by a point. Three-point attempt, no good. And a whistle inside, and a foul on Brian Weaver. That's his first. He's the leading scorer for this Denbigh team, averaging a little more than 14 points a game. Again, a player control foul. And now we'll see Hampton substitute Mark Ash in the lineup for Eric Hunter. Mark Ash, I believe, is the young man who is a transfer student this year.
Yes, he came in from, I heard he came in from Delaware, and he could be a fine addition to this team.
Gannon Baker, one-hander off the glass. Just like Daddy used to do it.
Well, he's a left-hander, Tim. He put that up with his right hand.
9-8, Hampton regains the lead. Denbigh gets it across the timeline. This is Edlow, double team. Good block from behind. Denbigh fans behind us didn't think so, but it looked like a good one.
It was a good block.
Baseline jumper is good by Cedric Williams. That's his first basket. And now Hampton leads by 3. They double team the ball as it comes across the timeline. Now Denbigh will set up. Thayer Murphy, Michael, Edlow. Ball goes inside. Now they kick it back. Three-point attempt. Off the front of the rim, no good. Ash has the rebound for Hampton, and he touched it last before it went out of bounds. Dana Michael will inbounds. He gets it to Murphy, and it's kicked out of bounds by Hampton. 2:22 left in the first quarter. 11-8, Hampton by 3, and now Eric Hunter will come back in the ball game.
And he'll give Aaron a breather.
This time, Aaron Monday will check out for the Crabbers. Stay tuned at halftime as AG will have an opportunity to talk about first half action with former Hampton coach, as Reuben Wilson connects, former Hampton coach Glenn Russell. So look forward to that. A 1-point Hampton lead. Baker just inside the three-point stripe hits. 6 points for Baker. That was one giant step away from being a three-pointer. Edlow, Dana Michael will set it up. This is Brian Edlow. He's got a three-pointer to his credit so far. Dana Michael for 3, in and out. Battled for and controlled by Mark Ash. Swan kicks it down the court for Williams. He finds Hunter. Williams is open in the corner, but he elects to go to Baker, who touch passes it to Kevin Swan. No good. And Baker chases it down in the corner for Hunter. Turnaround jumper, yes.
They are really hustling out there.
Big Eric Hunter makes it a 5-point Hampton lead. Hampton has scored 109 points, I mentioned, in the last 2 games. That's total, that's each game. In high school, that's phenomenal.
That's a lot of points.
You consider they play, there's a 3-point attempt, and it's good by Brian Edlow. That's his second. What I started to say was, when you consider that high school ball plays 8 minutes fewer than college ball, and to average and to get 109 points, you got to do some scoring.
Yeah, you sure do, and you don't have a clock to worry about either.
And we've got Eric Hunter stepping on the out-of-bounds line. Now substitutions for Denbigh finds Speedy Green, Brian Speedy Green checking in. He's not a starter, but he averages more than 11 points a game. And
he's their 6th man coming off that bench.
Travers countered with Paul Blackman, number 14 in the ball game now.
And Paul has been a starter. And Hampton now is in a man-to-man, but you see what Denbigh is doing, is they're just holding the ball out, trying to get the last shot. because there's only 20-some seconds to go in the quarter, so they want to get the last shot.
Down to 15 seconds. This is Edlow. Bounce pass in the corner for Weaver. It's no good. And Hunter rebounds for the Crabbers. Blackman brings it up for Hampton. He'll put it up. No good. And the buzzer sounds, ending the first quarter. So after 8 minutes of action, the Crabbers lead 15-13.
Tim?
Yes, AG.
We have some young ladies down here, equal time with Newport News, that have some thoughts on the first quarter, and your name is?
My name is Debbie Patterson.
I'm Angela Michael. I'm Esther Glasgow. Gina Chapezi. I didn't hear the question.
See if we can get
first quarter, you're down by 2. Who's going to win this ball game?
I think Denbigh will win it because we have the potential. We have what it takes to make it to state.
All right, it's nice to see a big crowd out for a big game like this.
Yes, it is, finally.
What's it feel like cheering before a couple thousand people?
It feels great. We really get a lot of support from the crowd, and it's really great.
Y'all doing a good job. Good luck to you. Excuse me. Sorry.
All right, AG, thank you for that usual fine job. Someone's got to do it like we always say.
Yeah, he sure does.
And I'm told we're going to watch a replay of this three-pointer that was scored moments ago. This is Denbigh with the ball. There you see him just outside the three-point line. That was Brian Edlow with his second three-pointer of the first quarter. Gannon Baker loses it on a blind pass. I love the way the Swan does that.
That was a good pass. It really was. Gannon should have had that one.
Whipped it to him, and Baker just couldn't quite hold on to it underneath the basket. So
Hampton has changed their press. Now they're pressing man-to-man.
$7:50 to go in the first half, 15-13. Denbigh trailing by 2. Inside, back out for Huffman, who's checked in the ball game. A rebound comes off for Aaron Monday of Hampton. Hunter from the free throw line, no good. Chases down his own rebound, and then we've got a jump ball. Arrow of possession gives the ball to Denbigh.
Hunter looks like he is really pumped up, and maybe needs to have his adrenaline settle down just a hair.
He's gotten a lot of rebounds, but he's had a lot of tough shots. He just can't seem to get them to go. He's got 4 points, I should add. This is Reuben Wilson from just inside the three-point range. Battled for and controlled by Swan. Down the floor quickly for Cedric Williams. He's hammered. Make no mistake that Reuben Wilson committed the foul. And a two-shot foul it will be. Cedric Williams will go to the free throw line. Williams has 2 points on 1 basket.
And Dennis Katufis is real smart. He has taken number 50 out of the game because that could have caused him. Reuben Wilson really fouled Blackman real hard, and you could get some, Cedric Williams real hard. You could get some ill feelings. That's a smart move. Set him down, let him cool off a little, get him back in.
Williams hits the first, and he hits the second. He's got 4 points, and his team leads by 4. Hampton 17-13.
Now they're back into that half full court press. 1-2-2 press or 2-1-2 press.
This game coming to you from Hampton High School. Played Tuesday night. Dana Michael for 3, no good. And Hunter spots a man down the court. This is Aaron Monday. Jam time. Aaron Monday with the high percentage shot.
And that's reminiscent of high school football because Aaron Monday caught a lot of passes from Eric Hunter this year in basketball. In football. But Eric Hunter has got an arm.
3-point attempt, no good. Hunter skies for the rebound. This is Gannon Baker. Spots Monday open. Monday's bounce pass is an errant one, and as a jump ball, it'll belong to the Crabbers. Kevin Swan ties up with Dana Michael. 19-13, Hampton by 6. There you see head coach Walter Brower of the Crabbers. David Blizzard next to him. Gannon Baker dragged his pivot foot. Good call.
That was a good call.
Baker thought about where he was going to go, and just as he decided to put the ball on the floor, he dragged his pivot foot. And of course, that's a no-no.
And that could have given Hampton a bigger lead. They could have come away with 2 more. Now that could have been charged as a number 24 for Denbigh. Definitely walked. That's Dana Michael.
He kind of slipped.
Yes, he did, but that's part of the game.
Absolutely. Less than 6 minutes to go here in the half. 3-point attempt, an air ball, but it's as good as a pass as Huckman is underneath for Denbigh to get the putback. And Denbigh now trailing by 4. Hunter with the rebound, puts it in. Eric Hunter with 6 points in the first half.
And 8 rebounds.
He had 3 rebounds on just one series there, if I recall. 21-15, Hampton. Speedy Green gives to Michael. Huckman looking inside for Weaver. Back to Green. Green will fire for 3. It's short again. That's the second time in a row. He can't find a range. Ball goes out of bounds. Hampton fans pick up on the air ball call. Reuben Wilson coming back in for Denbigh, along with number 42, Alonzo Randall, his first appearance in the ball game.
Trying to get a little more height in and give Weaver and Huckman a blow here.
Baker calls the play. Dragged his pivot foot again. Cedric Williams to Baker. And a whistle away from the ball. This one's going to be on Dana Michael of Denbigh. That's his first. It's only the 3rd team foul. And it's been considering the intensity of the game, there have only been a total of 5 fouls called against both teams.
Brian Edlow comes in for Neil Venable.
Baker puts it up. No good. Kevin Swan with the rebound. He throws up the left-hander, doesn't go. And finally controlled by Dana Michael of Denbigh. 21-15, Hampton by 6. Jumper is no good, and now we've got a whistle underneath. Reuben Wilson called for his second personal foul. And Denbigh is going to call a timeout.
Well, I tell you, number 40 for the Patriots. I'm sorry, number 50, Reuben Wilson. He threw that ball at first. Could have been a technical right there. It was a good no call. It was a good no call. Go ahead.
AG, I see you're with the
equal time to the Hampton cheerleaders. And who do we have here?
Keisha Braithwaite, Erica Scott, Katie Onker, Kelly Davis, Shan Meeks, Colette Bull, Allison.
Things are going pretty good right now. What do you attribute this to?
Well, we've been practicing real hard, and the team has also. We had a pep rally today, so I think they're ready. They're pumped
All right.
up.
Can we have a Crabber chant?
Okay, well, the one that's most appropriate, filled with spirit, packed with power, because we are the team of the hour. All right, ready? Filled with spirit, packed with power, we're the team of the hour. Hey, 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 hey. Filled with spirit, packed with power, we're the team of the hour. Hey, 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 hey.
All right, thank you.
I know AG hates that
Tim,
part.
tough job.
I knew you hated that.
You do it well, AG.
I'm glad we got you to do it, AG.
21-15 is our score. 4:21 remains in the first half. Hampton leading by 6. They led by 2 at the quarter break. They have scored 6-2 here in the second quarter against Denbigh.
Denbigh threw another look at him with a different press that time.
3-pointer.
And number 22 for the Crabbers, Cedric Williams. 9-point lead.
Michael guarded by Baker, directing his teammate Edlow. This is Reuben Wilson. He spots Michael inside. It doesn't go. And Aaron Monday wipes the boards clean. Kevin Swan spots Baker all alone for three. No. Williams tries to keep it alive, but he's the one that last touched it. Brian Edlow brings it down.
And that was a walk.
Speedy Green has been short all night on his shots, and he continues to be short with those shots. Back come the Crabbers. Kevin Swan, Baker. Baker wants to go inside to Ash. Now Ash will move down to the low post.
They got a zone on him. It's a 1-3-1 zone, and it's a little tough to get that ball inside. You got to run it around the perimeter. You got to beat it by passing, not by dribbling. Try to get the entry pass.
Baker will fire for three. It's off the left side. And Mark Ash will be called for his first personal foul for Hampton.
Hampton's got to be a little more patient, Tim. They don't need to be taking those 3-shot fouls. They got a 9-point shot. They got a 9-point lead. We're going to make that Denbigh team move and try to get an entry pass into your big people. You got two big people in there. You got Ash and Monday now. Ash is going out for Hunter. Hunter has already got 8 rebounds this first half. And he's right close behind Monday. Monday's got 4.
24-15, Hampton leading by 9.
Now Hampton's back into that zone.
3-point attempt by Edlow is off the mark. Back come the Crabbers. Neither team in the bonus situation, and Baker travels. But Baker stopped his dribble and then picked his foot up.
That's a mental error thing. He just is playing a little out of control right now.
Hampton way off their game as far as their offense is concerned here. They've turned the ball over. I don't have the statistics on turnovers, but they certainly have turned it over a number of times.
One of the reasons being is the intensity level out there. There's a lot of emotion, and you have a tendency to play with too excited. And he's sitting, Gannon Baker is sitting down right now. Number 12 for Hampton is coming in. That is a 9th grader, Jermaine Glosson.
I believe that's Golson.
Golson. He is a 9th grader, but they're real high on him.
Stolen by Cedric Williams.
That was just a bad pass.
Swan spots Williams. Inside turnaround jumper for Monday is no good. And Brian Weaver brings it out for Denbigh. Almost throws it away. Good effort by Edlow to save it.
Back into a 3-2 zone.
Edlow gives to Reuben Wilson. Dana Michael, cross court. Michael kicks it out to Edlow. This will be a 3-pointer. Ryan Edlow with 9 points on 3 field goals. And it's 24-18. Cedric Williams shot off the mark from way outside. In the ball game now for Hampton is Giovanni Freeman, number 42.
Hampton's zone is not packed in as tight as the Denbigh zone, and they're having no problem getting the ball inside. That was a long 2-pointer.
Reuben Wilson just inside the 3-point stripe. It's a 4-point Hampton lead. Again, we invite you to stay tuned at halftime as Aaron Monday goes to the basket. As we'll have Glenn Russell, former Hampton coach, the coach of that 1969 state championship team for the Crabbers. He'll be talking with A.G. Womble here at the halftime break, which is just 20 seconds away. Hampton with a 6-point lead, 26-20.
Well, this has been much slower pace than what the Crabbers are used to.
Kevin Swan follows. Kevin Swan hits that basket and makes it 28-20. And we're going to have an interview with Glenn Russell, but first of all, we're going to take a break. Right now, our score at halftime is Hampton 28, Denbigh 20. We'll return with more action from Hampton High School, but first, let's take a brief timeout.
So he's tied up there. I got to get it in.
And this one's hit in the hole between first and second. Kevin Smith, who has now become the third baseman.
At Denbigh High School, where the Cranberry Varsity boys.
Back here at halftime, you're watching a replay of a shot by Reuben Wilson late in the first half. That was just a barely two-pointer. It was just inside the three-point line. There's 28-20 as our score, and as promised, we have A.G. Womble, and he has former Hampton coach Glenn Russell.
All right, Glenn, 28-20. What about that first half?
Well, it was a little ragged. I thought very strong defensively. Hampton is definitely controlling the boards on them.
Glenn, 69 state championship team. How does that team compare with this team?
Well, this team is a whole lot quicker than we were. We play a completely different style of basketball. They score a lot more points, but they give up a lot more than we did.
When are you going to come back and coach in the Hampton school system?
I'm just about ready to retire, not come back into coaching.
Hence wanted to be sure to ask how your golf game is.
It's not too bad. I played 3 times last week, so it's not bad.
Have you played Hens lately?
No, we can't get him out. He's making too much money.
Okay. Glenn, nice talking to you, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Glenn Russell, 1969 state championship team. All the way that year.
Yes,
That was the last time Hampton won a state championship.
Yeah, we appreciate Glenn taking his time coming down here and talk to us, and he's right, Tim and AG. Hampton had 20 rebounds compared to Denbigh's 8. You look at the statistics, and Eric Hunter had as many rebounds as the whole Denbigh team did. He had 8 total. But they're really hitting the boards. They're getting a lot of second shots. That offensive rebounds, because I don't know if it's significant or not, but Denbigh was sending one guy down the court underneath their own basket when Hampton was setting up on their offense, and I don't know if that had anything to do with getting some rebounds or not, but when you got 4 playing against 5 down here, you're going to end up with more balls than the other team.
Scoring-wise, here in the first half, Denbigh was paced by Brian Edlow. He had 9 points on just 3 shots. That's right, folks, 3 three-pointers for Brian Edlow. 5 points for Reuben Wilson, including that basket you saw just a moment ago on the replay. 4 points for Thayer Murphy on 2 baskets. Buck Hoffman had 2 points to round out the scoring for Denbigh. At halftime, they have a total of 20 points. And for the Crabbers, they were paced with 7 points by Cedric Williams. He had a 3-pointer, a basket, and 2 free throws. 5 points for Kevin Swan, way off his usual load. He's got an 18.5 average, and he scored just 5 points. So we'll look for him to open up his scoring touch a little more in the second half.
Well, he got the first 3 points of the ball game, Tim, and that usually sets the tone for a shooter.
Gannon Baker with 6 points on 3 baskets, 6 points for Eric Hunter, and 4 points for Aaron Monday. And that totals up to 28, and that's our score at halftime. Hampton 28-20 in the battle for first place in the Peninsula District.
Tim, I don't think there was a 1-and-1 shot by either one of the teams that first half, so having the 3 officials out there did not mean that they're going to blow the whistle a lot. But they are controlling it, and they're not letting any excessive beating and pushing and shoving going on by talking rather than blowing the whistle. I think that's a good move. We're going to see good basketball that way.
Each team only shot 2 free throws. Hampton hit 2 out of 2, and Denbigh hit 1 out of 2 in the first half. That's the kind of game I like to see. I hate to see those games with 97 fouls.
Well, you got to parade to the foul line, and that's not basketball.
Denbigh has the ball to start the second half. Underneath the basket, the shot put up is no good. Weaver with the rebound and shot is also no good. And back with Eric Hunter's rebound come the Hampton Crabbers.
And Hampton started off with a man-to-man, and Denbigh is pressing all over the court, and they're double teaming.
Monday called for the travel. Another turnover, bring it back the other way for Denbigh. Fans around us getting on the ref there. He called it against the Hampton team. What do they want?
Oh, they said he'd been doing it all night. He just called it, but
shot is no good, and a foul is going to be called against Gannon Baker. That'll be his second, and he is the only Crabber with more than one foul.
And that is a non-shooting foul.
Dana Michael inbounds to Ruben Wilson, and that one's tipped away and controlled by Kevin Swan. Double teamed, hits Gannon Baker for Hunter at the free throw line, and he is going to be called for the charge.
That was a good acting job that time. Aaron may have thrown his arm, but the young man started to fall before he was ever any contact.
Still an 8-point lead. 52 seconds has elapsed here in the third quarter, and neither team has been able to dent the scoreboard. It's been that type of game. It's been a tough defensive game, and I think that's why the scoring is off. And in contrast to the normal scoring potential of Hampton.
Now, what Denbigh is doing is they're double teaming the ball all over the court when Hampton gets it across the half-court line, and is upsetting the Hampton rhythm.
The two games previously were relatively low-scoring games, 65 points and 67 points respectively. Nice feed underneath for Michael. It doesn't go, however. Weaver gets the rebound. It won't go, so there's a lid on the basket. Denbigh just can't get the easy bucket underneath. And back come the Crabbers. Kevin Swan will bring it up. He's double-teamed, spots the man open, Cedric Williams. Off for Eric Hunter, doesn't go. And back come the Patriots. Baseline jumper, Edlow doesn't get it. Ryan Weaver, turnaround jumper, does get it. So Weaver makes it a 6-point difference. That's Weaver's first basket of the game. He averages 14. So both of the team's leading scorers have been held well below average here so far. This one won't go. The rebound by Michael does go.
Right now, Hampton is being out-hustled.
Denbigh scores 4 points, and Hampton wants a timeout. 5:55 remains in the third quarter. And let's take a moment and watch the Hampton cheerleaders. Or maybe we won't watch the Hampton cheerleaders.
I was going to say, it didn't look like the
I
cheerleaders
was trying to
to
cue
me.
up my director there, but he didn't take my lead. The only reason I try to do that is we mentioned in games before, the cheerleaders work very hard, and they put a lot of hours in, and they should get as much TV time as they can, by golly. And if Scotty Bowers doesn't want to show the girls, it's okay with me.
That's
but
why I'm not
his name is Bowers, and it's at 850. What is it?
5,200. Just ask for Scotty.
Just teasing. 28-24. Hampton has yet to score here in the second half. The scoring machine has been shut down. Kevin Swan dishes to Cedric Williams. His shot too strong. Hunter with yet another rebound, and this time he is fouled. Thayer Murphy called for the personal foul. He said he's going to get the cheerleaders when they face the camera. He's not having any back shots.
Okay. Well, they're going to face the home side, so we're at a disadvantage.
Swan chases the ball down. The Denbigh fans behind us felt like he pushed off to get to it. I think they had a case. And a foul charge to Brian Edlow.
The intensity level has definitely picked up a notch or two from this Denbigh team.
Dennis Katufis having a word to say to the official.
And he is taking his coat off. He is getting serious.
Williams will inbounds for the Crabbers. Spots Hunter open. Hunter dishes off, and we've got a traveling call before the contact. 28-24, Hampton by 4. They have still not scored here in the third quarter.
I would have to say, Tim, that at this point, I don't believe a Hampton team has gone this long, 2.5 minutes, without a score this year. Not at the beginning of a second half.
Checking in for Hampton, Paul Blackman, number 14, comes in, and Mark Ash will come in as well for the Crabbers. Gannon Baker will check out. So we'll set the lineup for you in just a moment. It has Mark Ash and Eric Hunter, along with Cedric Williams, Blackman, and Swan. And now the official conferring over at the scorer's table. Buff Hockman will inbounds for Denbigh, gets it to Dana Michael. They've got Michael, Edlow, Hockman, Reuben Wilson, and Brian Weaver on the court. Reuben Wilson will fire, no good. Battled underneath, and last touched by Hampton. Could have called about 6 fouls on that play. Sometimes in an effort to not overcall, they kind of let the, but that's fine as long as they're consistent. I go along with the way they call it.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Consistency is the name of the game when you're calling basketball.
Dana Michael.
Nobody picked him up. Somebody had to step in and try to draw the charge or something that time, and nobody did. 6 straight points.
Hampton with no points here in the third quarter. We've played more than 3 minutes. Mark Ash can't get it to go either. Denbigh now with a chance to tie or take the lead. Hockman will drive and put it in. So Hampton has come out more than flat here in the second quarter, and they've seen an 8-point lead evaporate. 28 all, 4:17 to go. Williams puts it off the glass, no good, and a foul. And this is going to be a charge on Williams. That's his first player control foul. Aaron Monday will come back in for the Crabbers. There, Mark Ash will come out. Walter Brower right now trying to get the right combination on the court. Sometimes becomes a mental thing, doesn't it, Bob?
It really does. I mean, there were some easy shots missed by the Hampton, not taking bad shots or not taking low percentage shots, they're taking high percentage shots. They're just having trouble getting it in, and once the first one goes in, usually it kind of breaks, everybody relaxes.
Denbigh now going into a semi-stall.
Well, Tim, the defense has to come out when there's a tie. And Hampton's back in that zone.
For 2.
Unlikely hero. He is not known for his shooting.
Hockman has scored 6 points. Swan to Hunter. Hunter finally breaks the scoring drought for the Crabbers.
And that's what they need, Tim. 3:15 before Hampton finally scored. And I believe now what Dennis Katufas is going to tell his team is, hold that ball, make Hampton come out of that zone, play us man-to-man. And if they do, then we feel that we can beat a man-to-man right now because they're flat.
The Crabbers led by 2 at the quarter break. They led by 8. And with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter, have just registered their first basket of the second half. This is the team that scored 109 points the last 2 times that they took the court. So they have been stymied, to say the least, here. Well, we've got a moment. Let me run down the standings for you real briefly, just the district standings. Hampton coming in as first place, 11-2. Denbigh, Ferguson is 11-3. They're playing a non-district game tonight at Bayside. Denbigh is in third place, 10-3. Then Kecoughtan 9-5. Bethel 5-7. Lafayette 5-8. Phoebus 4-9. Warwick 3-10. And then Menchville rounds out the district standings in last place at 1-12.
And Hampton is playing a man-to-man.
And a traveling call. .304 remains in the third. This game tied up at 30. Game being played Tuesday night, February the 7th from the Hampton High School gym. Blackman, nice move to the basket. It counts and he's fouled.
That was an excellent play by Paul Blackman. He is not a real tall or physical guy, but he took it underneath the basket, went up real high, soft reverse layup, put it in, got fouled. I don't know if we got that on instant or not, but that's an excellent play. Now he's got a chance for the three-pointer.
And he converts it as Dana Michael picks up the foul, and Hampton regains the lead by 3. There you see the replay as Blackman went to the hoop. Nice give and go, Dana Michael. Hampton quickly back down the court. 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Hampton leading by a point. This is Eric Hunter. Eric Hunter has 10 points. And Hampton leads again by 3. Picked off inside. Cedric Williams pulls up from 5.
Nice pass in there from number 14 for the Crabbers.
That's Paul Blackman.
Paul Blackman, oh, excellent pass.
Back to a Hampton 5-point lead. This is Blackman guarding Dana Michael. Weaver picked up by Monday. His shot is short. Back come the Crabbers. Cedric Williams dishes for Monday, and he is fouled. And now we have a little temper problem between the players. Nothing of any consequence, I'm sure. Officials right on top of the play. Ryan Weaver called for his second personal foul. Just kind of like a little macho display there. Someone wanted to show someone else. They didn't.
And look what to do. Both coaches are taking the 2 young men out. And that is a smart move, Tim. I applaud the coaches. Excellent decision.
1:42 remaining in the third. Aaron Monday for 2 shots at the free throw line. He's got 4 points. And he rattles the first one and won't go. Monday's points coming from the field. He's got two-pointers. He goes 0 for 2, but Mark Ash gets a big rebound and puts it back. So Mark Ash gets his name in the score column, and his team leads by 7. So Hampton has responded here, scoring 9 points to Denbigh's 2 since we were tied at 30. Dana Michael. Mario Scott in the ball game now, and a traveling on Hockman. Neil Venable will come back in for Denbigh.
Tim?
Yes, AG.
In the third quarter, we got some of the state champion football players. I'm across from you guys behind the Hampton bench, he says. Maybe the third quarter here, we get a few comments from some of them, but right now we got Tony Hyman. Tony, the Crabbers put on a little run here the last few minutes.
Yeah, they practice hard all week, and I saw them practicing throughout the week, and they're a very good football, basketball team. Now, I think they'll come back, throughout the game and take this one.
Hey, Tim, maybe the third quarter we got a few comments from a couple of these young men. You might remember Todd Summers and Ben Hartsfield and Brandon Waddell. You remember those names?
Oh, we remember, especially Todd Summers. He told me that you were his adopted daddy. He loves you because you interview him all the time.
Well, we'll get some interviews and some comments from them. They and by the way, for our director's benefit, they're about 6 rows up behind the Hampton bench. If we get a chance between the third and fourth quarter to get some inside from the championship Hampton Crabbers football team. 39-32, the Hampton Crabbers basketball team having a little success of their own this season at 16-2.
And there's a scrambling defense. They're just trying to double team the ball all over the court, take Hampton out of any type of offensive patterns.
Hampton moving the ball around pretty well. This is Williams. We're down to 47 seconds to go in the third. Gannon Baker getting ready to check back in for the Crabbers.
And I don't know that Hampton wants to delay it, but I think they're just going to make this team really hustle. He's got some fresh people out there, Dennis Katufas does. And that's not what you want to do.
Mario Scott.
But that doesn't put him into the 1-on-1, but that does give Gannon a chance to come in.
Mario Scott called for his first personal foul. That's the team's third. And Baker will come in on the player control foul. Out comes Aaron Monday. So the Crabbers go with a smaller team now. In fact, they don't have any of the horses out there except for Mark Ash, and he's not really one of the bigger players, although he's probably listed in about 6'4". But Hunter and Monday, the taller two players for the Crabbers, are on the bench right now.
Well, this is a good time to take them out because you have you got a lead, and you got just a few seconds, and you feel like Denbigh will probably try to take the last shot, although it looks like they're going to go ahead and run their offense.
Nice feed underneath. It doesn't go, but we've got a foul. Shot was put up by Thayer Murphy.
The foul was on number 22.
Cedric Williams.
Cedric Williams.
It's his second. And Murphy will go to the free throw line. He's got 4 points on the night. His first trip to the free throw
excuse
line.
me, I don't mean to step on your feet, but this situation would almost guarantee Hampton to get the last shot of the third quarter.
Murphy hits on the first, he'll get the bonus. Actually, I think he was fouled in the act of shooting, so it wouldn't have mattered. And Thayer Murphy has 6 points. It's a 5-point Hampton lead and a backcourt foul again. This is a second one on Mario Scott.
And you put number 14 for the Crabbers, Paul Blackman, back on the line. He is an excellent foul shooter. So now the situation is reversed. Hampton needs to get the 2 foul shots. And Denbigh will get the last shot of the third quarter, perhaps.
Blackman has gone cold at the free throw line, missing the last 2 front ends of 1-on-1 situations. Those make a coach go gray or bald or both. Ball belongs to the Crabbers with just 3 seconds remaining. Jermaine Golson comes back in for Kevin Swan. Swan has still not scored here in the second half and has only 5 points on the evening. Crabbers have just 3 seconds in order to get a shot off. Blackman gets it in. Giovanni Freeman throws a desperation 3-pointer up, and it doesn't go.
Tim?
Yes, AG.
If we got a moment, we got Todd Summers over here, Ben Hartfield, Brandon Waddell, and Tony Hyman. Todd, they see you, I think.
Tell them all to say hi, Mom.
Todd, what about this game, first of all?
Well, this game is, it's a very fast-paced game. It's have a lot of intensity in it. And the Hampton Crabbers, they ran a lot in practice all week, and I don't think nobody in the district can run with them.
Ben Hartsfield and Brandon Waddell, where are you going to school next year, Ben?
West Virginia, Westland, probably.
All right, what about you, Brandon?
I'm going to be attending East Carolina next year.
All right, East Carolina. Did you hear that, Bob?
I like that, East Carolina. That's our alma mater.
And Todd Summers and Tony wanted to remind everybody about the baseball season coming up, and they wanted full coverage. Is that right, Todd?
Yes, sir. I feel that our team is going to be very strong this year, and we'd like to have Channel 29 out there supporting us.
What about you, Tony?
Yeah, well, let's kick a 10 in our Hampton baseball game. It's just like a strong rivalry. We coming out first game shooting, and it's probably going to be one of the games that's going to decide the district championship.
All right, prediction on this game, Ben. This game right here.
Oh, we got them.
All right, Tim, Bob. Everything's under control.
AG and crew. 8 minutes remaining, 39-34. First place online tonight in the Peninsula District. Hampton is in first. They want to keep it. Denbigh, of course, wants to take it away. Gannon Baker back in the ball game. Eric Hunter, 1 foot in the paint. Baker will fire from the corner. He got it. 2-pointer. And that's Baker's first points of the second half. He had 6 at halftime. That makes him have 8 now on 4 baskets. And it's a 7-point Hampton lead from the free throw line. Reuben Wilson can't get it to go. And Aaron Monday, who is back in for the Crabbers, rebounds. Monday and Hunter, Baker, Swan, and Williams. The original starting 5 for the Crabbers is back out there. Baker all alone for 3. Yes!
He's wide open, and they're looking for the open man. That when you double team, somebody's got to be open, and Gannon has just gone to his spot.
Baker comes out and scores the first 5 points. This shot is short and hits the back of the backboard, and it'll go over to the Crabbers. 44-34. Hampton and Denbigh were tied at 30. And Hampton has outscored Denbigh by 14-4 during that stretch.
And here they're going to go. They're going to do a run and jump on their on the defense.
Turnaround jumper by Aaron Monday. So it looks like Hampton has settled back down into their offensive pattern.
Well, they're shooting 100% so far this quarter. I don't know what their percentage was the third quarter, but it was really pathetic there for the first 4 minutes.
Eric Hunter picks up the foul. That's his second. Hampton leading by 12. This will be a shooting foul as both teams are over the limit. AG, they let you get away in one piece from over there?
Rough crew over there, Tim.
But a bunch of nice kids.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, that Todd Summers is something else, isn't he? He loves that microphone.
You can't let him have it. You'll never get it back.
I remember after state championship game, he says, now it's my turn to interview you.
Dana Michael connects for his 7th point. He'll get a second try. You see the replay of Gannon Baker's 3-pointer just a moment ago at the other end. And Dana Michael is perfect from the free throw line. Back to a 10-point Hampton lead. Cedric Williams kicks it back out for Baker. Eric Hunter, Kevin Swan, who's been silenced tonight since early in the ball game. And we've got a reach-in foul on number 14, Thayer Murphy of Denbigh.
Hampton is spreading their offense out and making Denbigh really work, because it's hard to double team, Tim, if you're spread out like that, because somebody's going to be open, and you can see what happened when somebody was open, especially with Gannon Baker.
Stepping to the free throw line with a 1-and-1 is Aaron Monday. He is 0 for 2 tonight, and he finally connects.
They've got to do the job on the foul line. They can't relax at the foul line. They've got to put those points on the board.
And this time, Monday gets the roll, so he's 2 for 4 from the free throw line.
He used the whole rim that time.
8 points for Aaron Monday. And it's a 12-point Hampton lead. Almost picked off by Williams. The ball is loose. Scrambled for, picked up, and blocked very nicely by Aaron Monday. Thank you.
Woo! He came flying out of nowhere, Tim. He really got up in the air.
Again, he blocks the shot, but Weaver gets the rebound and puts it in. So Brian Weaver, like Swan, has been held very quietly down tonight. He's only got 4 points and averages more than 14. Monday goes to the hoop, it doesn't go. Eric Hunter with another rebound, and then he's tied up by Dana Michael. motion still running high here. 5.5 minutes to go. Player can, or rather the arrow of possession, I should say, belongs to Denbigh. So they'll bring it up on the tie-up. 48-38. Denbigh trails by 10. Reuben Wilson guarded closely by Hunter. Three-pointer, good. So Brian Speedy Green, who averages 11 points a game, gets his first basket of the night. Happens to be a three-pointer. And we've got a foul. This is going to be a blocking foul.
And that was an excellent call because he started falling before the Hampton Crabber even got there. He really tried to put a fake on the official, but the official was Johnny on the spot.
That is the third foul on Reuben Wilson. Both teams, as I mentioned, are over the limit. And stepping to the free throw line for the 1-and-1 is Cedric Williams. He's got 9 points tonight, a three-pointer, two two-pointers, and he's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Make that 3 for 3. So Swan has been quieted with just 5 points, averaging 18 for Hampton. And the second one is no good for Williams. While on the other side of the coin, Brian Weaver, averaging 14 for Denbigh, has just 4. And Brian Green has just 3, averaging almost 12. Brian Weaver almost forgot the ball, goes back to get it, knocked away by Williams. And Williams blows the layup. Good defensive effort on the part of Brian Edlow to get back and cause some pressure. And we've got a foul.
He should never miss that layup, Tim. He did not keep his head up and concentrate. Those shots you got to do.
Third personal foul on Williams. It's one of those things where, and again, I'm giving some credit to Brian Edlow to get back there and put some pressure on him.
Absolutely, Tim. I didn't mean to be taking anything away from him,
right.
but that caused the shooter to lose concentration.
Monday with the rebound. It's an 8-point difference now. Hunter to Gannon Baker. Put it up and in, Eric Hunter.
He has really became an offensive threat here in this second half.
You were watching a replay. I think you came back just in time to see the live action as Hunter put it in for his 12th point tonight. He's picked up the slack where Swan has had his difficulties. Although I would say Swan really hasn't taken that many shots. Reuben Wilson in and out. Brian Weaver hustles for the rebound. 51-41, Hampton by 10, 3:50 remaining in the fourth quarter. Gannon Baker keeping an eye on Dana Michael. Reuben Wilson's turnaround jumper is no good. Battle between a couple of pair of 54s, and it was last touched by Brian Weaver, 54 of Denbigh. He and Aaron Monday were battling for the rebound.
And Aaron's going to take a blow as Ash comes in.
Sure, Walter Brower's thoughts here are to give his big guys, including in particular Eric Hunter, a little rest for the last 2 minutes of this game. Give him a blow for a minute and a half or so. Nice dish underneath and a good block by Reuben Wilson. Eric Hunter fakes his triple team and then finally is tied up, and it'll be a jump ball.
It remains Hampton ball, and Eric has got to keep cool.
The possession belongs to Denbigh.
No, it belongs to Hampton. It points to the basket.
They're doing it right, whereas the first game they weren't, okay? Dennis Katufas having more than a few words with the official over there. Be sure to stay tuned at the conclusion of the games while AG will have a chance to talk with some of the victorious players, maybe some of the non-victorious players as well, but some of our candidates for honors tonight would include on the Hampton side of the coin, Cedric Williams with 10 points, Gannon Baker with 11, Kevin Swan with 5, 12 for Eric Hunter, and he's got a handful or a couple of dozen rebounds, I think. What has he got over there?
He's got 12. A dozen.
12
you were right on
rebounds.
the money.
Got a dozen. And so Hunter's got 12 points and 12 rebounds unofficially for the game. On the other side, Denbigh with Brian Edlow getting 3 3-pointers for his 9 points. 8 points for Dana Michael, 5 points for Reuben Wilson, 6 for Hockman.
As you can see one of the replays here, Tim, on that last play where they tied up Eric.
Eric emphatically getting the ball.
Well, I tell you, I talked to the coaching staff of the football team, and they said if you go to war, you want to have Hunter on your side because he doesn't like to lose, and he will give you 110% all the time out there. Now, that might not always be under control, but he will play as hard as he can play.
3:23 left in regulation time. 51-41. Gannon Baker can't get it to go. The tip no good. Williams had it and was tied up by Weaver, and it'll belong to Denbigh. Denbigh trailing by 10. Needs a basket here. Three minutes remaining exactly. And we've got a whistle and a foul, I believe. No? Well, that was away from the ball.
And that was an offensive foul.
That one's on Thayer Murphy. That's his third. Foul was on number 14, Murphy. And since it was away from the ball, it will be a shooting foul.
And you would have to think to try to make Mr. Eric Hunter lose his cool a little bit on that shot. You push him away from the basket and try to get him to retaliate, and usually that's what the officials catch as a second one.
1-1 for Eric Hunter. This is his first trip to the free throw line, and he hits. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the fine folks here at Hampton High School for their superb cooperation for our setting up for tonight's game.
And I would like to thank Trish Mitchell for the roster she got for me, the AD here at Hampton High.
(53-41), Hampton by 12. It doesn't go, and Aaron Monday with another rebound.
And now we got two opponents out there for Denbigh. We've got the clock and the score. There's 12 points down. Hampton's got the ball, and there's 2:40 to go on the clock. Denbigh's got to make something happen. They got to get some easy baskets here. This is what they've got to try to do.
Neil Venable comes in for Brian Weaver. And Walter Brower will counter with Paul Blackman for the Crabbers, as he will come in for Aaron Monday. So when Weaver comes out, so does Monday. Going with a smaller lineup. Eric Hunter gives back to Williams. This is Paul Blackman being guarded by Hockman. Cedric Williams. Gannon Baker. Hampton being very patient on offense.
They run an emotion offense so that you can't double team.
Blackman doesn't get it to go, but Hunter does. So Eric Hunter gets yet another rebound and then adds 2 more points to his total, and a Hunter rebound at the other end, and that gives him 14 for the night. One at either end. The last 2 rebounds were Hunter's. Inside of 2 minutes to go, 55-41. Hampton by 14, and they've got the ball. And they throw it out of bounds.
That was not a good pass. What you want to do is run time off the clock. You don't want to turn the ball over. And Denbigh is bringing in a little more speed. They're bringing in number 10 for them, Tim. That's Brian Edlow. He started, but he's a little more
Kevin Swan showing you why he's considered one of the best on the peninsula as he dives for the ball.
What hustle.
A lot of hustle. His team
Yes,
leading
sir.
by 14 with 1:37 to go, and you would have thought they were trailing by 2.
Well, that's the difference between winners and losers. Winners continually play to win until the bell sounds or the whistle blows or the buzzer sounds.
Dana Michael gives it back to Brian Green. Nice move to the basket by Brian Edlow, and he's got 11 points on the night. Gannon Baker for Williams to Blackman. He spots Gannon Baker open. Baker will fire it in and out. Hunter stole the ball, and then finally is controlled by Denbigh, and then a foul on Kevin Swan.
So you don't want any fouls.
.105 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Y'all don't need no technical. We had a little exchange, excuse me, I don't mean to step on you. We had a little exchange between Eric Hunter and Reuben Wilson. And we don't need that. I heard the fans say we don't need any technicals, but we don't need that on a basketball court anyway. No.
And to Eric Hunter's credit, he just turned around and walked away and ignored the taunting, I might add. Justified or not. Edlow adds to his total. He's got 12 on the night. He's had a good one, three three-pointers. Ryan Weaver on the bench now, and he's going to end up with apparently about just 4 points, averaging more than 14 coming in. Edlow completes the 1-and-1, 55-45. Hampton by 10. Blackman has it knocked away, and Edlow converts at the other end. 14 points for Edlow. This game is not over yet, 55-47. Cedric Williams puts it in for his 11th and 12th point. Three-point attempt, the foul on Williams. Stepping to the free throw line will be O'Neal Venable. 40 seconds remaining, a 10-point Hampton lead, 57-47. You see a good shot of Neil Venable, number 40 of Denbigh.
Tim, there's one thing that you're going to be able to see, I believe, in the future, and that's when you foul a man trying a three-point shot, he's going to get 3 foul shots.
Well, that's, of course, the international rules now.
Right, that is in the international rules, but I believe that we will see that in college and high school before very long, because this three-point shot is very popular. Some coaches feel like it's too close. Those are the ones that don't have the shooters.
That's right.
If you've got the shooters, then you'll love it.
Venable hits 1 out of 2, cutting the lead to 9. Williams is fouled by Reuben Wilson, and that will be 4 on Wilson. These teams likely to encounter each other again in the Peninsula District playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks.
Well, the key is to win the district tournament. I mean, to win the district regular season, because that gives you an automatic berth. And then it's the winner of the Peninsula District tournament or the number 2 team if the same team wins the district and wins the tournament. And that almost puts the lid on the basket right there, Jim. That's an 11-point lead, 34 seconds. That means the minimum is 4 possessions. If you hit 3 three-pointers and a 2-pointer, you tie it up. So I don't see how any way that Denbigh's got a chance here, but Hampton cannot relax either.
Timeout has been called by the Denbigh team. As I said before, I hope you'll stay tuned at the conclusion of the game. AG will be talking with probably Eric Hunter, and Cedric Williams had 14 points. He's certainly another good candidate to discuss this game with. And head coach Walter Brower, 11 points for Gannon Baker. So you've got 3, Hampton has 3 players in double figures. Aaron Monday just a bucket away from having double figures. He's got 8. 16 unofficially for Hunter. 11 for Baker, 14 for Cedric Williams, 5 for Kevin Swan, 3 for Paul Blackman.
And I got 15 rebounds for Mr. Eric Hunter tonight. He has done a yeoman's job on the boards.
He's a heck of an athlete. Wilson's shot is an air ball, or at least an errant shot, I should say. 23 seconds to go. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to the Crabbers. Hampton called a timeout before they were called for a 5-second violation.
Used to be on that rule that you had to get the ball in before the man got to 4. Now it's got to be touching somebody's hand by 5, so it can, you can have it and throw it in bounds. With actually, what you're getting is about a second more time bringing the ball in bounds than we used to get.
Just looking at the standings in the Peninsula District, Hampton coming into the game was in first at 10-2. Now, that's yours. That's an outdated one.
That's not mine, Tim. I didn't bring any.
Somebody's. Actually, Hampton is 11-2. Ferguson 11-3. Denbigh is 10-3. If the game continues on the trend that it is, Hampton will improve to 12-2. Denbigh will fall to 10-4. And Ferguson will continue to be 11-3 because they're not playing a district game tonight. A strange shot put up. It's no good. But the rebound comes off for Denbigh, and then we have a foul with 11 seconds remaining and 11-point lead. So what I was getting at was, just out of curiosity, if the season ended right now, it would have Hampton playing Warwick, Ferguson would play Phoebus, Denbigh would play Lafayette, and Kecoughtan and Bethel would play.
Well, let me tell you what is really going to hurt one of these teams, not this team, the Hampton Crabbers, but the Denbigh Patriots. They're going to be in the same bracket with the Ferguson Mariners. So you got the number 2 and number 3 team in one bracket, the number 4 and number 1 in another bracket. And Hampton's got a tough game tomorrow night. They play Bethel. Make-up game from the first of the season.
Thayer Murphy gets both free throws. It's a 9-point lead. Gannon Baker is fouled in the backcourt. 6 seconds remaining. Highly unlikely that Denbigh can come back from this.
Yeah, it really is. I tell you, we've really had a tremendous coverage with our cameras tonight. This just been a great basketball game from the spectator standpoint, because you got a full house. It really makes it exciting, but the pictures that our camera people are doing, and they're up in the crowd except for young Sam, who's standing up there on a perch. So they're pretty surrounded, Tim, but they're doing a great job.
Gannon Baker hits the first. And he gets nothing but net on the second one. So he's got 13 unofficially. Dana Michael with an uncontested shot. Rebound comes off for Hunter as he adds one more rebound to his total. And then the game is ended with Hampton pulling out the 61-50 victory. They led by 2 at the quarter. They led by 8 at halftime, and then went stone cold in the third quarter.
Yeah, they really did.
But held on to lead by 5.
They lost the daggone lead and then come back. And you just can't keep a excellent offensive team like Hampton from scoring points. Now, they may not score 100 points. You put a lot of defense on them, and there's a lot of zone, but you're not going to keep them from scoring points. And it's unusual for them to go 4 minutes without scoring. All right, almost 4 minutes. It was 3 minutes and 45 seconds, I believe. Eric Hunter ended up with 16 rebounds for the game, and I don't know how many points he ended up with, but if I'm picking the player of the game, I'm picking Eric Hunter because he did the job when nobody else was hitting. He was doing it. He's the one who hit the first shot. Remember when they went to that cold spell, he made the very first basket.
Tim? All right, AG, you've got Eric Hunter and Walter Brower and
Gannon Baker and Kevin Swan, maybe. Eric, we were just talking. We had you most valuable player several football games, and we had you voted most valuable player tonight. Fantastic game. Several rebounds, several points. A big win for the Crabbers. Your thoughts?
Well, I think everybody played a good game today, and we just really came out here and we did a good job. you know, they beat us over there at Denbigh, and we just had to come out here and prove to everyone that we're #1 in the district.
Well-balanced attack out there tonight on behalf of the Crabbers.
Yeah, you know, Gannon Baker, Kevin Swan, they did a great job shooting 3-pointers, and that opened up for, you know, me and Aaron Mundy and, you know, the big man to crash the boards and everything.
Okay, great game. All right, Coach, big game, big win. You expected it to be close. It was a tough one all the way. Your thoughts?
Well, I expected it to be close because I knew Denver was going to come in here and play us tough. So we expected a tough, close ball game.
Walter, early in the third quarter, Denbigh put on a tremendous run there. What was going wrong there?
Well, we weren't doing a good job cutting off the guard cut to the basket. They were getting easy baskets by simply one guard cutting to the basket and beating our guard to the spot. And we called timeout and made an adjustment.
What adjustment did you make?
Well, simply moving the guard back further and looking for the pass and getting more weak side help.
Gannon Baker and Kevin Swan, big win, both of you guys. Gannon, a lot of good defensive plays and one key three-pointer there. Your thoughts and comments on this big game?
Well, on defense, I just tried to move my feet as quick as I can and stay in front of the man. And on offense, I just, like Coach Brown said, told me at halftime, I just tried to set my feet, get my feet set, and just go up straight three-pointer and follow through.
Kevin, great season all year. This was a big win, of course, for the Crabbers. First place was at stake. What about this game and the rest of the season?
Well, now that we have a half-game lead on Ferguson and a game lead on Denbigh, we can now concentrate on tomorrow night against Bethel and then Tuesday night against Lafayette and wrapping things up in the district.
Winning that district outright gives you that automatic berth. I'm sure that's very important on the mind of the team.
Yes, that's one of the things that we're shooting for instead of having to put the pressure on us to win the tournament.
Kevin, great game. Coach, tremendous depth on this team. Some comments on that?
Well, God has blessed us. We got a lot of players that can play. And
your second string could start for a lot of schools, couldn't it?
Well, we've got some of them that could play probably first string for some schools, but we know, as I said, God has blessed us and we've got some talent. We're pretty deep.
One final question. This young man, when's he going to play?
Well, he's going to be a guard. He's going to be a left-handed shooting guard.
Okay, great game, and good luck to you the rest of the season, Walter.
Thank you very much.
All right, Tim, Bob, thank you.
And we remind the fans that we'll be back here as we watch a replay of some action earlier in the ball game. This is
I think this is the first shot that Eric, this is what Eric started to run in that third quarter, Tim, and he got the first basket with 4:15 to go in the third quarter. First time Hampton scored in that third quarter. And that just sounded, everybody else just kind of relaxed and went ahead and played what they normally play because they are a fine offensive team. But a lot of people don't realize the tough, tenacious defense that they play. They are a good defensive team. And you do some gambling and you give up some easy points. But the bottom line is you look at the scoreboard, who won. And Hampton proved tonight that they are definitely deserving of the #1 spot in the district.
And they do so with a 11-point victory over the Denbigh Patriots, a hard-fought victory for the Crabbers. They led early in the ball game. They led by 8 at halftime. They saw that lead evaporate with a cold spell in the third quarter. It was tied at 30, and after that, Hampton started scoring. Eric Hunter got them started, and from then on, it was Katie bar the door. The Hampton Crabbers come away with an 11-point victory and a clear possession of first place in the Peninsula District.
And you can see there, that's Tammy Boggs from the...
I thought that's who that was.
And, yeah, she's the... who's that other one with her? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure who that is.
But I recognize Tammy. She can flat shoot the ball. She comes over. And see, this is one thing about people that play basketball. When they're off, they go watch a ball game because there may be something they'll pick up watching another player. And that's very important.
Busman's holiday.
And it makes the coach look good when they come up with it.
Well, we'll remind you that we'll be back here at Hampton High School next Tuesday when Hampton will entertain Lafayette, and they'll be looking to continue their winning ways. They improved their record tonight to 17-2, 12-2 in the district, and Denbigh falls to 10-4, 13-5 overall. Final thoughts, Bob?
The game was excellent. I thought it was well played on both parts. I figured with 3 officials there'd be a lot of whistles, but I think what happened, Tim, is that with 3 officials, the ball players decided, hey, we can't get away with some of the stuff underneath the basket that we might normally have tried to get away with when somebody wasn't looking. And it was a well-played game. A couple of times that the tempers flared. Both coaches, and boy, I applaud both Katufis and Brower for doing it. They took those particular players off, let them sit down, cool off, didn't have any problems on the floor or with fans. And when you get a crowd this big, things can really happen. You start getting things thrown on the floor and all that. But it was an excellent ball game all the way around. I was just real pleased with the efforts of the Hampton Crabbers. I think they really let the district know we are number one. And this is quite an accomplishment to have a football team end up number one in the district and then go on to win the state, and have a basketball team also end up as number one in the district.
All right, for my compadre A.G. Womble and Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Again, the final score, the Hampton Crabbers 61, the Denbigh Patriots 50. From Hampton High School, this is Tim Cole for the entire crew, all of us. We enjoyed this game. Good night, everybody.